Let's get 49ers at Seahawks. Seahawks 7-point favorites. It's down from 7.5 where it opened. 44.5 is the over-under here. And some injury news. Fred Warner, limited participant in practice the past few days. There is a chance he plays in this game. On the flip side for the Seattle Seahawks, Charles Cross actually went from a full participant to a limited participant with a hamstring injury. Something to monitor there for the Seahawks left tackle.
There's no way Fred Warner plays in this game, right? There's no shot. I saw him break his ankle. Like there's no way he plays in this game, right? Like
superhuman stuff.
That is not a real person if he plays. Like I'm gonna have to seriously consider the idea of like a Fred Warner like body clone. They stole the immortal chamber from the Rams because there's no way he plays in this game. Like that's a little crazy. I think if this were the NFC Championship, then like maybe, but I mean he's moving really well. Like if Fred Warner plays in this game, I think that changes things a little bit, but I don't know how much it changes things.
No, I agree because I think the biggest problem for the 49ers in this one is just putting points on the scoreboard. Is the fact that your offensive line is not good enough to block this Seahawks defensive line because the Seahawks bring it from all five, or all four. And so all five of your offensive linemen, your chain's only as strong as its weakest link. There's some weak links on the Seahawks this 49ers offensive line. And so when you have, you go 6-7 deep with the Seattle Seahawks of guys that if they get a favorable one-on-one, they're probably winning. It means every single time Brock Purdy's under it. And we saw that in week 18. And I think, unfortunately, not much has convinced me over the past 2 weeks that that's going to change, especially when you don't have George Kittle.
So the biggest thing that changed with the Seahawks game plan against the 49ers in week 18, the Seahawks were a lot more willing to play man coverage. They played, I think, 23% of their snaps in man coverage, which for the Seahawks is a really big change. They don't play man coverage a lot. They truly don't. They play man coverage on 15% of their snaps this season, according to True Media. So them playing man coverage on 24% of their snaps against the 49ers, that signaled we do not respect your skill position players. All we have to do is defend Christian McCaffrey, and at that point, George Kittle, and force you to go somewhere else. And Brock Purdy against man coverage in that game was, I believe, 6 for 8 with 24 yards, 6 for 8 of 9 dropbacks, 24 yards, and a negative 0.43 EPA per play. That's not going to get it done. And I feel like in this game, without George Kittle, potentially without Ricky Pearsall, they're just going to play man coverage again. Yeah. And if they play man coverage, it's going to be on Brock Purdy to make some throws, make some uncomfortable throws. And that's where I think the biggest reason why the Seahawks are able to beat this Niners team, the biggest reason why Mike McDonald, I'm not going to say like he has Brock Purdy's number or Kyle Shanahan's number. I don't think that'd be like super fair. But because they're able to defend the run out of light boxes and just house their defensive tackles can just house their run game. They weren't able to run the ball last time they played the 49ers, and now you don't have George Kittle as a part of that. Now, if you're not going to be able to run the ball, you're not going to have Kittle. It feels like this game is going to be funneled through Christian McCaffrey option routes, but the Seahawks do such a good job of taking away dig windows with Devin Witherspoon, Nick Emmanwori. Ernest Jones is not the same caliber of athlete as either of those two guys, but he's played a lot of football, and he knows where the dig windows are. And then you have like Kobe Bryant coming off the roof. So there's so many guys who can close those windows and tighten those windows down. It's going to be tough for them to move the ball.
I do not think, if Ricky Pearsall's out, I do not think the 49ers really have a chance. As much as I'll probably regret saying that, and I've said that before about some 49ers teams this year when they were banged up as heck and they still won. But in this game specifically, the Seahawks defense is too good. And again, there's just no weak links. So when there's no weak links on a defense, you have to have a guy who can go above and beyond. And when you look at the 49ers skill position group, there's one guy right now that can do that. It's Christian McCaffrey. Ricky Pearsall, I think, could. I think he's capable of that. He is their best pure separator when you do see that man coverage on this football team. But if he has a knee injury that he's hampering and isn't 100%, well, then even if he does play, I'm not sure it actually moves the needle too much. You need him like fully healthy in this game if you really want to have a chance to beat that Seahawks man coverage. And if he doesn't go, it's just going to be tough sledding for this 49ers offense.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be – I'm not going to say it's 13-3 like week 18. I do think this one's going to go under. I think this one's going to be like a 17-10. I think it's going to be like maybe like a 17-3 or something. The biggest thing is I don't think the 49ers are going to be able to move the ball that well. But I do think they'll be able to slow down the Seahawks on the defense side of the ball. I think they have made a lot of adjustments in their run game. And I think Robert Saleh's willing to play the chaos game. And I think he's willing to lean into some of his tendencies on 3rd and 4th down. They blitz a lot on 3rd and 4th down. They don't normally blitz. I think their blitz rate overall on 1st and 2nd down is like 19%. That goes up to 32% on 3rd and 4th down. They are willing to live in that chaos world. So for Sam Darnold, can you just keep the boat steady? You don't have to try and be a hero on every play. But if he's able to keep the boat steady, I think this defense could win this game.
We have not even touched on Sam Darnold. We probably should for just a second, because if you'll recall on last week's episode, the Sunday episode, I said Justin Herbert was tied for the lowest EPA of any quarterback in the playoffs over the last decade. Who he was tied with was one Sam Darnold. So he needs to just not, like you said, just keep the boat steady. Just not make because it'll take to lose this game 2 or 3 big mistakes for the Seattle Seahawks, in my opinion, to really throw this one away. So just you can make probably 1. Don't make 2 or 3 in this game. And I think the Seahawks will.